excited to welcome you once more to this session about connecting sales and operation processes with S/4HANA and Salesforce CRM. I'm together here with my colleague Mohit. We're both seasoned integration experts in the domain of integration around SAP, S/4HANA, um, and around SaaS as well. So third-party integration as part of S/4HANA rollout projects. We have this extensive experience, and here we would like to introduce you to the topic, go actually towards quite specific examples on how integration enables these critical business processes. And we have a dynamic session. You have the availability in the Q&A to drop any question that you may have, because we're here to interact on it and share knowledge. So without further notice, let's get started. Very quickly, Rojo Integrations is in the name. This is what we do. This is what is in our DNA, and we are a strong partnership with. We have a strong partnership with SAP. We also work together with different SaaS solutions, and integration is what we're doing, and we focus a lot on accelerated integration packages to really get fast up to speed with rolling out business processes that span across multiple applications, as well as doing a lot around agentic AI and integration. So yeah, let's go to the next one. Here you see our services mapped. Just to give a short background, we are very closely working with SAP. We explain this from an SAP context, and we are offering our accelerators, adapters as part of software. You see the augmented integrator AI proposition as well, related to everything that we do in the domain of integration and data analytics, and our support, managed services, professional services, as well as consultancy. But let's go towards the part related to the content. Just highlighting that we are here for a long time. We have our footprints going back, more than decades ago. It's like it's our SAP Press books that we work together on with SAP shows our knowledge that go way back in XI kind of times with PO, and we keep working together with SAP to be the thought leaders on the area of SAP integration. So yeah, I hope here it will be insightful for you. First of all, why do we have this topic? Why we're here? You must see it. It looks like an explosion of logos here, but organizations integration becomes more and more absolutely critical with the variety on SaaS that is there. If you progress in the slide, you will see different statements coming over this picture showing actually what it's all about. But we have multiple SaaS applications in any customer landscape. And as well, it facilitates all kinds of different business processes. So if you're rolling out HubSpot, you're rolling out CRM with Salesforce or with Microsoft Dynamics, and you're doing it as SAP landscape, you need integration as a bridge to accelerate this business process. And it just is a period of time where more and more of these applications will be rolled out, more best of breed. As well, it funnels and shapes use cases around data products and agentic AI services as well. So all of this needs to be integrated as a strong backbone. I hope many of you have a certain well-governed iPaaS setup. We are here showing what we can do with SAP Integration Suite, which is the enabler to make sure that third-party connectivity is integrated in a proper and scalable manner within SAP landscapes. You see the top right, this is where we collaborate very closely with SAP on the third-party apps, which we will show you more about how that can actually help accelerate. And also in this order to cash process facilitates realizing this business process and rolling out solutions like Salesforce very quickly in an SAP landscape. But it also goes towards migration. We are migration factory partner with SAP, as well as working on the event mesh technology. So I think I will pass it over to Mohit to explain about the order to cash business process between SAP and Salesforce and how this can be super accelerated with the integration concepts that we're going to introduce to you. Over to you, Mohit.
Yes, Ender. Welcome everyone to the session. My name is Mohit. So we will go on to the topic straight away. So first we will discuss brief on what is O2C. in a business world, whenever there is a business going on, so definitely something is getting sold out in the market, and so knowingly or unknowingly, every business which is dealing with the selling of products has to follow the O2C process, which is our order to cash. And this diagram on the screen, you can see different phases of the order to cash process, which is the core to the sales business process of the organization. So it starts with customer uh, inquiry, and the first step, it begins with the customer places an order. So customer places an order, it gets confirmed, and uh, the delivery starts for the customer. It gets billed, an invoice is created, the shipment of the product to the customer place, and finally, when the customer completes the payment, the order gets delivered and the process gets completed. So anything which is sold out is has to gone through this process. The best example, which we all must have done once in our life, is online purchasing in any of the online portal like Amazon, Alibaba, and Walmart. So all these internally follows O2C process. Okay. So that's the last slide about O2C. Now, how our uh, solution or our package fits into the picture. Here we can see the Salesforce is as the CRM side of it, the customer side of it, because it is most widely used. And then the backend is SAP S4 HANA, where all the core of the sales data deals, master data, and all the core data resides on it, and the CPI, which is the nervous system here, uh, which is the integration layer here in the package. So this slide depicts what process happens on which side. For example, the Salesforce is the customer facing, and all the core processes you see, which I called out in the last slide, which is outbound delivery, post code issue, customer billing, invoicing, is all happens on the S4 side. So it starts with sales order created, and it goes back to S4 HANA, where the order is generated, order number is generated, and it is reflected back to Salesforce. After that, the core process starts where outbound delivery is created. When we compare it to the real or layman terms, it is like when you create an order, the the organization receives it start with the delivery of that. The products get fetched from the warehouses, and it moves to the dispatch area. So all these core processes are being listed, if you can see on the SAP S4 side. Goods issues, and then the customer is billed, invoice is sent. So all these processes has some status at the given point of time, which is getting reflected back with the dotted lines you can see on the Salesforce side, so that the customer who has placed the order can see the real time status, what is happening with that order. And finally, once the payment is done, payment is cleared, the order final status is getting reflected back to Salesforce. So it is the sale. If the customer who is placing an order is doesn't have a real time know what is happening, then it is just not just an IT issue. It is a business issue, and it is exactly where our product or our package comes into picture, which is integration suite package. Uh, so if you can see in this slide, all these master data which I was talking about in the last slide are getting synced up with the Salesforce side. Our business partners getting synced with customers, materials are synced with products, the pricing conditions are synced with prices, and then transactional data, which is deliveries status, shipment status, invoice status, and payment status. And finally, what happens to the order is getting reflected back to the Salesforce for customer to have a look at the real time. And why are we here is the integration suite, where our package, our pre-built package, which enables both customer and backend, comes into the pictures. So we have, okay, I'll go to the demo straight away. Uh, so this is our Salesforce side of it, where the customer is placing an order, and if you can see, for the today's demo, I will take an example where order is already created. You can see the order 2488 is already there, and the SAP side order is 55. And since the integration package is already in place, and I will show you, and this is the S4 HANA side. You can see the order is here, which is order number 55, and the same is visible here. So this is what a package does, a pre-built package does. You can see the things are synced on the real time, and no manual exercise has to be done either on Salesforce side or on the S4 HANA side to get both these systems synced. Okay, so for the demo, I will show you the quantity. You can see, I'll just refresh my screen once again. And okay, you can see the current order quantity is 8. I will make it uh, 10 for all of you to feel the changes on the system. So the order product record was updated. Now it is the CPI or the integration layer. I'll just refresh this. So this is the current message which is being triggered uh, by the changes what we have done on the Salesforce side. You can see the message is completed, and I'll once again refresh this so that uh, you can see the changes. Now the order quantity is updated to 10. So this is what the pre-packaged content is built all about. It is just a small example which I have shown you, but all the possible Salesforce related tasks, SAP related statuses are getting uh, sync to the uh, to and fro between the system via the integration packages. For example, the customer gets onboarded, it gets synced up. For example, new material is created, it gets synced up. And finally, the main part of the O2C process, which is our ordering the product, is getting synced up. The stock prices, the stock prices, stock quantity, the customer can see at a real time. Okay. Now we will discuss about uh, what if this integration package which we are talking about is not there. So this is how the traditional view of a implementation project, integration implementation project looks like. You can see every phase is taking their own time, the identifying the requirements and the analyzing the requirements, the discussion on the requirements and the design and the mappings between the source and sender system, the adapters and the testing cycles, the debug cycle, and then deployment. So it has its own time duration, which is somewhere around 9 months if any organization wanted to start it from scratch. But with the package which Roho has come up with, this has reduced drastically to almost 1.5 month. So why? Because 70% of the work we have done, it is all about we have to just plug, adjust, and play according to the organization needs, depending upon how their sales process is. So all those painful parts we have taken up, and the organization can take the benefits of it uh, from different perspective. So this slide will talk about uh, uh, what are the business benefits. But before that, I would like to speak on what are the problems we are facing. So basically, the customer interacts with the sales representative, and at a particular point of time, generally sales representative doesn't have a clear view what is there in the backend, what is the stock quantity right now in the system. So there are chances he or she cannot give a exact answer to the customer. And then what are the prices of the product if that integration is not there? So how does it impact to the business? We have errors and we have delays, and most important, which any organization doesn't want, is that poor customer experience. So it is now not an IT problem, because we cannot say the integration is not there. It is a business problem. Ultimately, when the customer experience is not there, is not good, then it is a business problem. So exactly the same point at the Roho standard content is dealing with. You can see what, first of all, what are we providing with this package is that the pre-built content, iFlows, which is catering to the master data, which is catering to the transactional data, like accounts, order, inquiry, prices, then stock quantity, availability of it, and then delivery status, and status of the picking, status of the dispatch, and the payment status, and finally in the end what is the order status. And I'll be glad to share that we are using Roho created SAP certified Salesforce adapter also. And apart from that, we have robust error handling, which is being part of every iFlow. And then documentation and guide, which is very handy and everyone can refer to configure to just plug and play. And if needed, we can adjust it accordingly to the business or business requirement. Now, what are the business benefit of it? Definitely, when I say 70 to 80% of the things are already cooked, then it is a faster time to deploy and faster time to really gain the business benefits. So we estimated around 60% of less time, and then real time sync, uh, like I mentioned in the benefits, the customer knows what is the exact price, what are the stock, and at a real point, at a real time, and then a reduce integration cost. So it is more of a financial benefit. Uh, Things are already there. You just have to deploy and start working from there. It is upgrade safe because we know what we have built, and in the upgrade, we know what has to be upgraded at what place, so that if customizations are done from the customer side, it should not be impacted. And finally, since there are good and enormous logging and error tracing, it will be compliance and governance, according to their governance and compliance of any organization. Okay, so before okay, so now we have a customer story which I wanted to share. Uh, we have a car manufacturing customer. Uh, they have the same difficulties or challenges they are facing while they were implementing the a different solution of it, not order to cash, but a procure to pay. And that this time they were doing it with the Coupa, uh, but R was dealing with R is dealing with Salesforce, but this is the success story where Coupa was used. And the similar challenges they were facing at a given point of time, their lack of skill gap is there, and the uh, not proper knowledge of integration. So they were having challenges of efficiency also, and maintenance and support also. And definitely a timeline challenge is a big part, because the faster you deploy the business benefits, the earlier you take the business benefits. So all the results are here, which they were able to get it through this content, which is a real-time data flow, full visibility, and control, and delivered in budget and timelines. Okay. Uh, on this topic, how do we calculate our uh, return, right? What have we saved? So everybody can go on our website and have this tool, which everybody can start assessing what is the pre-packaged content can help us to save in terms of cost and in terms of efforts. So, for example, what we were showcasing is related to Salesforce, and all these scenarios are part of it. So I will select everything. So if you see, these are the estimated savings. Uh, with traditional way, it is 45 weeks, and the delivering time buying is 5 weeks. Now, if you can see the drastic difference. 41 weeks are saved, and the cost saving is huge. So everybody can, whoever wants, can take the view of this calculator, ROI calculator, and can realize what are we saving through this. Now, since we are in the end of our session, I will like to summarize what we have discussed. We have taken the S/4HANA as the master data system, which is our processing engine, and it is always a source of truth uh, from the data side. And the Salesforce, we are considering it as a customer-facing interface, like a front end to it. And but why Salesforce? It is a widely used CRM system in the tech world. And then CPI, which is our nervous system and our integration layer. And this is where our package comes into a picture. Uh, and then with a seamless integration between all these three products using the pre-packaged content, we can have a faster processing of the orders, real-time data view, what is happening in the system, and real-time data view from the sales representative perspective, because they can talk confidently with the customers what is actually in the system. And definitely from an organization perspective, it is a manual efforts reduction, which is a huge benefit in terms of uh, monetary benefits for an organization, and in terms of the deployment efforts also. And obviously, when your sales and your customer are tightly coupled up, when there is a better collaboration, the sales, that definitely there is an impact to the sales of that organization. Okay, so now we come up to our Q&A session. Uh, I will just have a view
We will
on
check.
the
We will
question.
check. Hi, Mohit. Like if there's any questions on the chat or on the Q&A. So far, we don't see any question at this moment. So if you have any question, please don't hesitate to drop it in the chat. One thing I hope you get out of this session is, I don't know if everyone saw it, but demo was super quick, and that's actually the advantage of the solution that we are pitching here, because in an instant, something that normally takes a long project timeline, instantly you have this integration up and running between your critical S/4HANA stack as well as Salesforce, and that's the advantage that this brings in. Actually, the only thing has to be done if you're complying with standard already across is just configuration. Now, you can see it as equivalent with S/4HANA with standard events, standard APIs. Unplug this standard integration acceleration in there, and you tie it all together, and you have it up and running. And you can tell to your business, instead of like we need a timeline of what Mohit already shared, we can very soon start using and get the benefits out of the systems that you're integrating and facilitating this order to cash process. Note it's conform according to the standard definitions of S/4HANA and then Salesforce for integration. It fits in the clean core strategy with SAP. And many questions that we get when we're rolling this out is like, hey, but our business is different. We customize, we do things in a different way. And that's the great advantage as well, is that the backbone will already work and operate if you comply with standard on both sides. It gets you up to speed in
Yeah.
no time. I think it was basically seconds what Mo showed here. After configuration, which is just giving the right security artifact configurations, and that's mostly it, and some specific configurations. But it's also customizable and extensible, so you can, yeah, relatively easy, straightforward, extend it and make sure that you customize it where you have some variations, which will be facilitated both by the adapter, by the framework that's used in the integration content, so you can quickly get up to running even for very customized setup. If there are no further questions, I think Moit, I don't know if you want to add something, but I think we completed, the session here. We went to the point and showed what this is all about. I don't see any other questions or anything coming in the QA or chat. So there's one posting that we did in the chat about the ROI that you can check out. And we want to thank you so much for your time. Hope it was insightful. It gives you thoughts about how to quickly get this up to speed to facilitate your sales processes with S/4HANA and Salesforce. And anything that ties into integration, you know how to reach out to us. So thank you so much for your time. We will close this event and wish you a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.